Hello everyone, how's it going? I hope you're doing well tonight. Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth comes out soon, and I'm super excited for this. This is supposed to be the real end of Kazuma Kiryo's story, not Like a Dragon, which was the previous game. But unfortunately, there's some very bad news. Now, Yakuza games are very long. They have a lot of content, and one of the more appealing options for players after they complete the game is New Game Plus. New Game Plus is a wonderful thing for a lot of players, especially within RPGs, which is what Infinite Wealth is going to be, just like a Dragon. And it's, well, unfortunate that that feature is not going to be in the game unless you shell out $15. So this comes from Game Rant. So down here you can see SEGA confirmed that the upcoming Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth's New Game Plus feature is only available through a DLC paywall, upsetting fans. There is a lot of anticipation behind the upcoming 8th mainline Like a Dragon game. Well, 8th mainline Yakuza game, not Like a Dragon. Like a Dragon started with the previous game, so it would be the second game. There is a lot of anticipation behind the upcoming 8th mainline entry, I already read that, as it features both Ichiban Kasuga and Kazumi Kiryo sharing the spotlight. It's also teasing how it will be the final chapter of Kiryo's story, such as the older characters and story threads from Kiryo's past being brought to the forefront. Yeah, I'm super excited for a particular character from the second game returning because she was kind of shelled out at the third game. You know who I'm talking about, but I know a lot of people are just getting into the Yakuza franchise through Game Pass and other means, so I won't spoil it. Despite the excitement behind this Hawaii Trottin adventure, one thing that has garnered controversy before Infinite Wealth's launch is the New Game Plus feature. Last year, Ryuga Goto, I know I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, studio announced that Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth's New Game Plus would be available only as DLC in some regions. This wasn't the first time that the developer did this, as the 7th entry in the series Yakuza Like a Dragon had its New Game Plus behind a paywall in Japan. Wow, that I actually did not know. It probably released early, that's probably why. When Yakuza Like a Dragon was released in the West, this feature was included in the base from the start. Oh, so it released first in Japan and then came to the West with that feature. While some fans hoped that SEGA would repeat what it did for Yakuza Like a Dragon, to confirm that once important free feature in past entries will be locked behind DLC in all regions. That is such a crappy thing to do. More and more content is being segregated out of games to be sold to the player, like cheat codes, which is absolutely disgusting, but to just paywall DLC is absolutely atrocious. Remember with Metal Gear Survive, how you had to pay for extra save slots, and with Resident Evil 2 and 3, I believe, the remakes, you had to pay for the cheat codes, like you would get a enhancement. There's also like experience boosters in Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Like all of this stuff used to be within the game through cheat codes, like you would just plug in a cheat code and you'll get access to the content through the single player campaign like GTA. But now they've just like said, no, we're just gonna sell you this stuff, which is disgusting. And this is a very profound feature. A lot of people look forward to New Game Plus because a lot of Like a Dragon, the previous game, was so grindy. Like there is a lot of content in the game, and a lot of people simply don't want to grind out all that experience in order to get to certain boss enemies. So they'll just play through the game again in New Game Plus, bullet through the main content, and use that experience book in order to play the end game content, which is what I did. And yeah, this is just utterly obtuse. Again, if you've played Yakuza games, you know that they're extremely long games, 40, 50 hours. I believe Like a Dragon took me 60 hours to beat in completion, so not exactly a small game. This was spotted on Sega's official website for Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, found under the pre-order section that compared the 3 editions. The Deluxe and Ultimate Edition of Infinite Wealth have DLC packs known as Master Vacation Bundle, which includes bonus dungeon, special summon, resort guest for Infinite Wealth's Animal Crossing-esque island mode, additional DLC outfits, New Game Plus, and more. If they're already offering all that other DLC, why is New Game Plus bundled with that? I don't understand. Based on this, players looking to do a second playthrough of the game with this important feature will, at minimum, need to pay an additional $15 for something that should be in the game. So this is the comparison chart. The standard edition doesn't get you any of this. Deluxe edition gets you this, and the Ultimate edition gets you all of this. So, where is it? Yeah, here it is, New Game Plus. So it's in the Deluxe edition, not the Ultimate edition. Regardless, that is such a bad thing to do. So you can see it here. I'll leave it there for a second for people who want to read it, but I have this link below if you want to read it. This can be confusing for those looking to play Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth on Steam, as the standard edition only lists the base game and doesn't go into detail until the Master Vacation bundles content. Yeah, Steam is really crappy when it comes to listing DLC and what it includes. I mean, most digital stores are. Like, I've looked through games recently and they don't really tell you what's in the digital bundle. I wish there was a list like this right here, where it would just list you what is in each edition. Very easy to understand, but part of the confusion is how they make the most of their money. I'm sure a lot of us have been victims about this. They'll show various different like charts like this. This is easy to understand, but there are examples like with Assassin's Creed Odyssey where they show you a bunch of charts and you'll just say, okay, I'll just get the most expensive edition so I get everything. That is designed on intent. That is really why they do it. They make it as confusing as possible so you'll pay the extra money for you, so you don't miss out on stuff. Infinite Wealth's controversial DLC practice I put a damper was supposed to be a highly anticipated title in this series. I did notice in the last game when I looked it on Steam that there is a lot of DLC packs that are basically just overwhelmingly negative because it's a lot of features that players would otherwise should be in the game, like experience boosters and that. While the DLC won't be exclusive to pre-orders, fans are understandably upset for SEGA for keeping what is a standard feature in most RPGs. Not just most RPGs, most games that have this, or they added later, like God of War added it later. Who else added it later? I'm running a blank on this. I know God of War added it later, both for the original, the reboot, and for Ragnarok. And was a feature in past Yakuza games locked behind an expensive paywall. Yeah, $15 is just utterly ridiculous. I'm super excited for Infinite Wealth, but unfortunately, I don't think they're going to bend the knee on this. They're just going to say, you want this, you're going to have to pay for it, and most of us who've played Yakuza games are likely going to pay for this. I'm likely going to have to pay for this because I'm going to play this game on stream, and the director did come out and state that this game is one of the longest Yakuza games available, and playing it in one sitting could lead to you getting sick for sitting down that long. Either way, I just don't really see why this is a thing. SEGA already has a very infamous history of DLC practices, like with Sonic Mania and Sonic Origins. So with this situation, it's a little more just prevalent within their history. I don't know why they keep doing this, but I guess they do have to make their money somewhere with rising game costs. But at the same time, well, Infinite Wealth is taking place in a brand new area of Hawaii, and Yakuza games are both infamous and well known for using the same areas over and over again in order to cut costs out. That's why they use the same character models. They look great and all, but that's how they save money. So I'm guessing with this brand new area being in Hawaii, they have to create all new assets, all new characters, a lot of stuff, not to mention the dub and sub options. That's not cheap. So I'm guessing that's where they kind of needed to say, hey, we need to increase the price, not just $70, but we need to encourage people to get the digital deluxe edition. Look, I'm on the customer side. I do believe that this should be a standard addition to the game. But in this case, I'm trying to look at it from both sides. Like, I don't think this is purely out of greed, like an EA move. I think this is done to try and offset the cost of the game based on Yakuza's history and how they've kind of used the recycled environments as a way to try and offset the cost of these very long and intense games. Like I said, each game is around 40 to 50 hours. It is an incredible franchise, but, you know, there is a lot of retconning in the series. But regardless, very good series. So I don't know how I feel about this, because on one hand, they've given me dozens of hours of entertaining crime drama content through Game Pass, and these games are generally cheap right now. You can get like Yakuza 0, which is generally favored within the community, for like 99 cents on a good sales day. You can get, heck, the entire franchise. I've seen it listed for $30 on places like Humble Bundle or holiday sales from Steam. So tell me what you think about this. Like, if SEGA came out and just said, hey, we need to offset the cost because the game project was so expensive, that's why we're doing this, or do you think that they should just add this to the game default and you don't care, which I would fully understand. I do believe that the consumer does deserve to have this feature in the game regardless of what edition you get. But again, tell me what you think in the comments below. I try to see from both sides, but yeah, this is just really bad. Either way, tell me what you think. Like, dislike, sub even when you go the extra mile. I've been monetized, so I have joined. Super thanks if you want to go the extra mile, but don't have to. Either way, that's it from me. Bye.